My name is Brevin. I'm 32 years old. For 5 years, I thought I had it all figured out. A good job as an accountant, a nice apartment downtown. And Serene, my wife, my lover, the woman who still made my heart race every time she walked into a room. We met at a New Year's Eve party. Mutual friends. Too much champagne. She wore a red dress that hugged every curve. We talked for hours. Then she whispered in my ear, "Want to get out of here?" We didn't make it past the cab ride before our lips crashed together. That first night was fire. Passion. The kind of connection that leaves you breathless. She moved in 3 months later. Married a year after that. Our honeymoon in Bali was 7 days of barely leaving the hotel room. She'd wake me up in the middle of the night, her body pressed against mine, whispering, "I need you." I thought that intensity would fade. It didn't. Even after 5 years, she'd surprise me. Sending me photos while I was at work that made me leave early. Pulling me into the shower when I was brushing my teeth. Wearing my favorite lingerie under her business suits. "Just a reminder of what's waiting when you get home," she'd say with that smile. Our bedroom life was incredible, wild, adventurous. She'd initiate constantly. On the kitchen counter, in the car, once in the stairwell of our building at 2 a.m. because she couldn't wait. She was insatiable, and I loved it. She worked as a marketing coordinator at a mid-sized firm. Normal 9 to 5 stuff. But she'd come home energized, playful, always ready for us time. That was our rhythm. Work hard, love harder. And then one morning, everything shifted. Serene stood in front of the mirror longer than usual. She wore a black pencil skirt, tight blouse, red heels I'd never seen before. "Damn, babe," I said, walking up behind her. I slid my hands around her waist. "You look incredible." She stepped away, adjusted her hair. "New dress code at work?" I asked, trying to pull her back. "Just trying to look professional," she said, not meeting my eyes. I reached for her. She checked her phone. "I'm running late," she said, grabbing her bag. No kiss, no smile. Just gone. That was the first time she turned me down in 5 years. Over the next few weeks, it kept happening. New outfits, designer makeup, perfume that smelled expensive, not the one I bought her. She'd come home and go straight to the shower, not invite me in like she used to. She'd check her phone constantly, smile at texts she wouldn't show me. I'd try to touch her. She'd say she was tired. In bed, she'd turn away. Not tonight. One night, 2 weeks in, I initiated. Kissed her neck the way she loved. She pushed me away gently. "I have a headache." A headache. After 5 years of her waking me up for midnight sessions, now she had headaches. Our bedroom went from a wildfire to a cold room in 3 weeks. I'd ask, "What's wrong? Did I do something?" She'd say, "Nothing, just stressed with work." And I wanted to believe her. I really did. But something felt off. Like a song playing slightly out of tune. You don't notice at first, but once you hear it, you can't unhear it. It started with late nights. "Big project coming up," Serene said one Thursday evening. "I might be home late this week." I nodded. "Need me to pick up dinner?" She kissed my cheek. "You're the best." But when I texted her at 9 p.m., she didn't reply. Not until midnight. "Sorry, babe. Meeting ran long." I wanted to believe her. I really did. Then her friend Clara called me. "Hey, Brevin, is Serene with you?" "No, she's at work. Why?" There was a pause. "Oh, okay. Never mind." That pause, it crawled under my skin. I checked Serene's location on our shared family app. We'd set it up for safety, never thought I'd actually need it. She wasn't at her office, she was at a hotel bar downtown. My chest tightened. I tried to rationalize it. Maybe a client meeting, maybe a work dinner. But my gut screamed otherwise. I drove there. Parked across the street. Waited. 40 minutes later, I saw her walk out. But she wasn't alone. A man in a tailored suit. Tall, confident, his hand on her lower back. They laughed. She leaned into him. Then he kissed her. Not a friendly peck. A real kiss. And she kissed him back. I sat there, frozen. My hands gripping the steering wheel so tight my knuckles turned white. I didn't confront her that night. I couldn't. Instead, I went home, acted normal, pretended I didn't just watch my wife kiss another man, She came home an hour later, smiling, humming. How was work? I asked. Exhausting, she said, but productive. She kissed my forehead, the same lips that kissed him. I felt sick. Over the next week, I became a detective in my own marriage. I checked her phone while she showered, found messages, hundreds of them. His name was Damien. Can't wait to see you again. You looked incredible tonight. He doesn't appreciate you like I do. That last one broke something inside me. I scrolled further, found photos, messages about hotel rooms, plans to meet. She'd been seeing him for 3 months, 3 months, while I made her breakfast, while I held her at night, while I told her I loved her. She was living 2 lives, and I was the fool in one of them. I wanted to scream, to throw the phone, to wake her up and demand answers. But I didn't, because something colder settled over me. Anger turned into clarity. If I confronted her now, she'd deny it. Gaslight me, make me feel crazy. I needed proof. Solid, undeniable proof. But more than that, I needed control. I wasn't going to let her write the ending to this story. I became a different person. Calm, calculated, patient. Serene didn't notice. She was too distracted, too comfortable in her lies. I started documenting everything. Screenshots, timestamps, location data. But I wasn't just collecting evidence, I was building a case. First, I called a lawyer. Not to file for divorce yet, just to understand my options. Community property state, he said. Document everything, financial records, proof of infidelity, it'll help. I thanked him. Hung up, got to work. I opened a separate bank account, started transferring small amounts every week, not enough for her to notice. Then I logged into our joint accounts, every transaction, every withdrawal. And that's when I found it. Serene had been spending our money on him. Expensive dinners, hotel rooms, gifts, hundreds, no, thousands of dollars. My money, our savings, used to fund her affair. I felt the rage again, but I swallowed it. Because now I had more than hurt feelings. I had financial fraud. Next, I reached out to her workplace. Not directly, through a friend who worked in HR there. Hypothetically, I said, if 2 employees were having an affair and it violated company policy, what happens? She raised an eyebrow. Hypothetically, both could be terminated, especially if one's married. I nodded. Good to know. Turns out Damien wasn't just some guy. He was her boss, a senior manager, married, 2 kids. This wasn't just an affair, it was a career-ending scandal waiting to happen. But I wasn't done yet. I needed the final piece. So I set a trap. I told Serene I had a work trip coming up. 3 days, out of state. Her eyes lit up. Oh, really? When? Next week. She tried to hide her excitement, but I saw it. The night before my trip, I packed a bag, kissed her goodbye. I'll miss you, she said. Me too, I lied. I drove to the airport, parked, then turned around. I checked into a hotel 10 minutes from our apartment. And I waited. The next evening, I checked our security camera feed. I'd installed a hidden one in the living room weeks ago. At 7 p.m., Damien walked through my front door. He was in my home, sitting on my couch, drinking my wine. Serene kissed him. They laughed. She sat on his lap. I watched every second, and I recorded it all. The next morning, I drove home, walked in quietly. They were still asleep. In my bed, I didn't yell, didn't cry. I just stood there, watching them. Then I cleared my throat. Serene shot up, her face went white. Brevin, oh my God, I can explain. No, I said, you can't. Damien scrambled for his clothes. I didn't even look at him. Get out, I told him. Now. He left. Didn't say a word. Serene started crying. Please, Brevin. It was a mistake. I'm so sorry. I love you. Stop, I said. Just stop. I pulled out my phone, showed her the screenshots, the bank statements, the videos. Her face crumbled. I already spoke to a lawyer, I said. I have everything. Every lie. Every dollar you spent. Every message. She reached for me. I stepped back. We're done, Serene. She sobbed, begged, promised to change, but her words meant nothing now. They were just noise. I handed her a folder. Divorce papers? Sign them. Brevin, please. Sign them, or I send everything to your company, to his wife, to everyone. Her hands shook as she took the folder. She signed. I moved out that day, stayed with a friend. Over the next month, everything unraveled for her. I sent the evidence to her HR department. They launched an investigation. Damien was fired. Sareen was demoted. Their affair became office gossip. His wife found out. Filed for divorce, took the kids. Damien blamed Sareen. She blamed him. Their perfect little fantasy collapsed, and I watched it all from a distance. But here's the thing. I didn't feel good. I thought I would. I thought revenge would feel satisfying. It didn't. It just felt empty. I'd won. But what did I win? A broken marriage. Wasted years. Scars that wouldn't heal. I started therapy. Talked about trust. About betrayal. About who I'd become. My therapist asked, "Do you regret what you did?" I thought about it. No, but I regret needing to. Serene tried to reach out. Apologized again and again. I never replied. Not because I hated her, but because I didn't care anymore. And that's when I realized I was free. Not because I'd hurt her back, but because I'd let go. Then, 3 months later, I got a letter. Handwritten. From Serene. I almost threw it away, but something made me open it. Brevin, I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't deserve it, but I need you to know you didn't ruin my life. I did. You were good to me. Better than I ever was to you. I threw it away because I was selfish and stupid. Damien left. My job is barely holding on. And I wake up every day knowing I destroyed the best thing I ever had. You deserved better. I hope you find it. I'm sorry. Serene. I folded the letter, put it in a drawer, didn't reply, because there was nothing left to say. It's been a year now. I don't think about her much anymore. Some days I still feel the sting, the memory of what we had. But most days, I feel lighter. I started running, picked up old hobbies, reconnected with friends. I even went on a date last month. Nothing serious, but it felt good to try again, to trust again. Because that's the real battle, isn't it? Not revenge, not justice. It's choosing to stay open, to stay human. Betrayal breaks you, but it also teaches you. It shows you who you are when everything falls apart. And I learned I'm stronger than I thought. Serene didn't break me. She revealed me. The version of me that won't settle, that won't ignore red flags, that knows my worth. Would I go back and change things? Maybe. If I could skip the pain, but then I wouldn't be who I am now. And I like who I am now. Betrayal broke me, but it also rebuilt me into someone who won't ever let anyone dim my light again. If you've ever been betrayed, I hope my story reminds you of something. You're not broken, you're not weak, you're healing. And healing isn't pretty, it's messy and slow and painful, but it's also beautiful. Because on the other side, there's a version of you that's wiser, stronger, Abdi. If this story hit home for you, drop a comment. Tell me your story. Let's heal together. Hit that like button if you made it this far, and subscribe, because I'm not done sharing. There are more stories, more truths, more lessons, and I want you here for all of them. Thanks for listening. I'll see you in the next one.